do I spend my time? I don't know if it's a guy thing, but it's always like, what's for the next meal? What are we eating? After breakfast, I'd ask Bubba, well, what's for dinner? Instead of saying, what can I do to help somebody today? Or who needs a prayer? I seem to be consumed with food.
I was always very aware that my family was my most important love, and I would always do anything for my family, and I thought that's what I was about. But as I dug a little bit deeper, I discovered that there were some things that were taking me away from God that I did on a regular basis. It was basically the computer, Facebook, my emails, and of course my job, which it just is a part of who I am. But I had to kind of rethink what my priorities are. TV also took me away from my relationship with God.
I like to just sit in my recliner. I like to read or play games on my Kindle, watch TV, really a lot of mindless activity. And I like that. I don't know if it's just all the thinking you do during the day. And then watching TV, I found that, not live vicariously, but you're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have what they have? That kind of life. Reading is kind of the same thing. I just kind of visualize the story in my head and think, oh, that's a nice little romance story and happily ever after. That's where you think things could go. Society, culture, pulls us away from thinking about God in our lives and doing things that He wants us to do.
The habits that we do in our lives, that we spend our time on, are things that we love. I didn't like to admit that I couldn't change those things by thinking about them. I had to actually look at what I was doing and restructure those things that I'm doing every day that are forming who I am. And that was a profound moment for me. And I still haven't quite reconciled it with my life, because some of the changes that I feel need to be made are changes that I'm not necessarily willing to make. My mind knows that they need to be made, but giving up those things that I love that could possibly be leading me away from Christ is a hard thing to come to terms with.
The amount of time that I spend on my phone is unnecessary, I think. And I can sit down and work on something for work and still be on my phone doing things that are not associated with that. And so when I am studying the Bible, I have to try not to go on sites that are not oriented towards God, because it's distracting. I could just get distracted and not focus on what I am supposed to be doing. So yeah, I think if there was one thing that is a distraction, it would be my phone. Yeah.
We found out the distractions were kind of the loves. They talked about the love being, what are those things that you focus on and not necessarily have to do with Christ, and so those are some of those things that we see as distractions, whether it was our kids in technology, us in technology. I didn't want to get overwhelmed because I figured we'd never be able to live up to all those expectations. And so as we went through and said this is what we should be doing or how we should be doing it, it was good to step back and say we don't have to do everything right away.
So I was really discouraged at first because I realized of the opportunities I missed, not giving my thoughts to Christ. First thing in the morning is, you open up your Facebook page or your Twitter account to, make sure that, the kids have school, or what type of communication am I missing, or, what did my friends do last night? Instead of looking at my Bible app that I have on my phone that gives me a daily Bible verse every day.